Raj Jhaveri, who, as far as I can tell, is a serial entrepreneurial advisor. Very, very interesting track record in terms of innovative companies and helping them to succeed, as well as being a founder and a chief technology officer. So, great panel. Why don't we go backwards from you, Raj, and just spend a few minutes talking about who you are, and then maybe 5 minutes on what you're working on and what are the interesting areas that you'd like to focus on. And then what we'll do is we'll open it up for questions. Okay? Make sense? Is everybody still listening? Mm-hmm. Still engaged? That's good. Okay, good.
Well, thank you for the introductions. My name is Raj Jhaveri. I am one of the co-founders and CTO for VX Partners, a venture accelerator. My background is really interesting. I was a McKinsey consultant and went to pursue my MD PhD at Harvard MIT. And my last year, kind of dropped out to pursue a stem cell startup. And ever since then, been working in big pharma and biotechnology, and eventually went into digital health space where I became one of the advisors for the Watson Oncology Project, as well as currently advisor for the Mount Sinai project with CloudMed X in the cardiology department. I've built a couple of EMRs that have machine learning as well too, and successfully built a company called Canopy as well that does medical translation for patients that do not speak English. So I was a self-taught programmer that gradually got into from medicine to the tech world. This kind of is going to come out of left field, but I'm not sure if anyone's seen the movie Ex Machina, where it kind of described what is really true AI, and true AI. Can you really tell it if there's a difference between is it a machine or is it an actual human? So that is AI at its extreme level, a little bit based on, he's absolutely correct, machine learning is a little bit more, teaching the software, having the software consistently learn, putting in logic systems, building the different logic systems, and then actually recognizing the different variables in order to change the logic systems as well too. So it's becoming more of a smart machine learning as well too, a little bit more of cognitive as well too, application.
So left field then, is it do robots dream of sheep or something like that? There's all sorts of movie references we do here. So that's been helpful for me, certainly I hope it's helpful for the audience. Just thinking about the actual organization and the business of implementing and providing some sort of benefit from use of any of these techniques. Can anybody comment on some of the challenges of getting started with some of the breakthroughs that you have to make, some of the hurdles that you have to climb, and the barriers that you have to bust through? Anybody on the panel care to comment on that? Difficulties and challenges?
So since I've been hands-on programming and building machine learning technology, different ways, and also advising, it goes back into the big data components, especially in EMR as well too. And it's just a lot of data, and what people fail to recognize is that you do need to give some kind of purpose, have a purpose vision, and trying to figure out what are the right data points instead of just mining everything in order to do that. And then also, when it comes to healthcare, realizing that sometimes in medicine, things can be multidisciplinary as well too. So just trying to get access to other data in terms of other variables to implement it to become even a more smarter platform to make the right diagnosis or the right ICD-10 codes to be implemented. So that's one implementation of challenges and hurdles, that just recognizing the right data fields and how to use that. And then, are there any other variables that come into play that we need to add in terms of data, and how does it affect the algorithms at that point?
Cool, thanks.
I can give you an example. So, for example, when you think about weight loss and diabetes, both of these areas, there are drugs, there are surgical procedures, stuff that can help you, but ultimately it's about behavior change. It's the biggest contributor to positive outcome there. Now, behavior change is incredibly difficult for everybody. And the idea is, well, can sort of an AI personal advisor help you accomplish your goals? And so here in this area we have a lot of activity, and we do, in this case then, always seek out partners. And so we bring what we bring, which is technical expertise, subject matter expertise, but then when it comes to like building something, we partner with other companies. And I see that across the industry, not just for J&J, that the real innovative AI type applications, I think, are most often driven out of a collaboration. But I guess, Raji, you have also an opinion there.
Right, just answering it more in a broader term, because I've experienced working with each group. One, you need the healthcare experts, the physicians themselves, the engineers to actually build it, and then in the engineers, the different types of engineers as well too. A lot of it, machine learning is in Python or another platform as well too. So finding the right engineers for that, and finding the right people who can implement the logic systems and the analysts. And then you need one more person, the middleman, because healthcare professionals, they tend to not know tech too much. They don't know what the capabilities are, they don't know what we're allowed to do and not allowed to do. So you do need that data scientist in between to kind of translate what healthcare experts need and to communicate it to the engineers as well too. So I think that's one key crucial component that you need in order to have a successful team in a broader term to kick off any type of machine learning project, especially in healthcare.
So I was going to just have a quick follow-up on that. How would you describe that middleman person, the person that sort of has the idea, understands enough about AI, but isn't necessarily the guy who's going to hit the keys? What would that person look like?
It's someone who, because there are certain people who are data scientists who are, understands analytics, but did more of their training in healthcare, just large data in terms of science and healthcare, and it could be even not even in medical terms, but it could be in genomics as well too. So you'll find a lot of there is a whole field on just healthcare IT in terms of genome system as well too. But someone who can understand certain basics level of medicine and that type of life sciences, but also know the analytics and tech side, understanding what is necessary as well too. They're out there. It is a new and upcoming field. It's been for the past 5 years, and so that's the type of person you need.
We're going to see,
Good, thanks. Raj?
I think in 5 years, healthcare is still behind in so many ways, and I think in the next 5 years, it's a catch-up game. Right now I've seen so many different applications. In big pharma, I know companies like Pfizer are using machine learning and doing better formulations of their drugs, to either increase shelf life or to increase efficacy in terms of formulations, or to see new drug discovery as well too. In terms of medicine, I've seen things in radiology that's already existing where it automatically detects common images and common things that like tumors or anything in x-rays or anything that they want to help the radiologists to detect faster as well to assist them. I've seen things like a symptom checker as well too, where it automatically checks symptoms and implements all the coding into the EMR. And lastly, I've seen things where EMRs itself is becoming, people are still trying to figure out. I've seen so many complaints. So there are companies right there trying to do smart EMRs, where kind of like how Google studies you and starts personalizing your Gmail and starts personalizing everything that you do. There's a company that's building an EMR where the EMR is doing the same thing, where it studies the physician, how they interact with EMRs, and starts building their dashboards and giving suggestions based on that as well too. So there's so many different ways that AI and machine learning is being taking place in healthcare. But everything I've seen so far has been more on one end, on the hospital end or the physician end. And I'm hoping that in 5 years we start building tools for the patient as well too, to do proper follow-ups, to prevent readmission, to be smart with remote monitoring devices or your Fitbits, to track you better and to start giving you more, what she's doing, to give you more, a better, to put you on a better health track in order to do preventative medicine.
That's a perfect way to